RW Wrestling Podcast old guy is here, and he has another random daily match review for you today. And we got a pretty fun one here. We got Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. This takes place on Raw on July 25th, 2011 in Hampton, Virginia. And this is the finals of a tournament to determine who was going to be the WWE champion. And so what happened was that this is when CM Punk and John Cena wrestled at Money in the Bank, and Punk won, and he won the title. And since he had some contractual issues, CM Punk left the WWE with the WWE Championship. So the next night on Raw, before Vince McMahon got relieved of his duties by Triple H, he declared there was going to be an 8-man tournament, and that was going to determine who the new WWE Heavyweight Champion was going to be. And this match is that tournament final. So introducing first, we get the Booyaka, and you know who that is. It's the one and only Rey Mysterio, and he gets a nice reaction, per usual. He was so over at this point. He's already had 2 World Heavyweight title reigns to his name, so he's going for his 3rd one. And I love his entrance. Everything from the when he runs from one side of the stage to the other, and he sets off some fireworks when he just throws his fist down, and having his video be just his eyes and the mask change around it. It's always a nice presentation. And to get to this point, he beat Dolph Ziggler in the first round, and then beat R-Truth in the semifinals to get to this to get to the point where he faces his opponent, who is very awesome. He is The Miz, and he is exactly what I just said he was. And he beat Alex Riley in the first round, and then Kofi Kingston in the semifinals to get to this point. So as Miz is making his way to the ring, we get a camera shot of the or video shot of the entire roster watching this match on TV in the backstage area. All right, so Rey Mysterio is ready. The Miz is ready. This crowd is ready. The rest says ring the bell, ding, 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 and here we go. Right away, we get a Miz is awful chant. Miz is awful. No, he's not. We get a lockup that leads to Miz pushing Rey into a corner, and we get a clean break, which is surprising considering who the Miz is. Miz is awful chant one more time for just for the hell of it. Miz don't care because he thinks he's awesome, and like I said before, he is. Another lockup. The Miz applies the side headlock. Mysterio throws Miz off the ropes. Miz hits a shoulder tackle, gets a 1 count on Rey Mysterio. Miz hits another shoulder tackle and floats over for another 1 count. Mysterio with a few kicks to Miz's left leg, followed by a couple of punches to Miz's face. Mysterio applies a side headlock to Miz. Miz then throws Rey Mysterio off the ropes. Miz attempts a backdrop, but Mysterio kicks Miz in the face instead. And then Mysterio hits a spinning head scissors to Miz. Mysterio runs the ropes, tries to slide between Miz's legs, but Miz catches Rey Mysterio and pushes Mysterio into a corner. Miz charges Mysterio. Mysterio brings a boot up to Miz's face, attempts a head scissors to Miz, but Miz blocks and then hits Rey Mysterio with a reverse buckle bomb. Basically, the Miz had Rey Mysterio in a back suplex position, but he threw him backwards over his head, and then Mysterio hit the turnbuckle. I don't know what else to call it, so I just call it a reverse buckle bomb. And then Mysterio bumps to the mat as a result. Miz hits Rey Mysterio with his corner clothesline for a 2 count. Miz with a few kicks to Mysterio in the corner. Miz with a couple knees to Mysterio's back, followed up with an eye rake. I thought it was going for the mask, but it's a pretty convincing eye rake. Miz applies a rear headlock, and I'm like, rest holds already? Okay. All right. Mysterio fights out of the headlock with an elbow to Miz's gut, followed by a punch. Mysterio runs the ropes, but eats a knee to the gut. Miz gets a 2 count. Okay, so now Miz is just stalking Mysterio. He's looking like a heel. His facials and everything. Good stuff right here from Miz. Miz punt kicks Mysterio right in the gut. Miz uses his knee to choke Mysterio on the middle rope. Miz walks up to Mysterio, but eats 3 back elbows from Mysterio. Then Mysterio runs the ropes and eats a boot to the gut. Mysterio gets cut off again. Miz proceeds to throw Mysterio out of the ring. The Mysterio gets thrown out on his stomach. So basically, Miz threw Mysterio out to the floor, and Mysterio slid out on his stomach, and he managed to stay on his feet. But the second he got to the apron, Miz was ready with a drop kick and nailed him right in the face. Looked really good. That good timing. So and then Miz joins Mysterio out on the floor. Ref starts to count. The Miz throws Mysterio back first into the ring apron. Another Miz is awful chant. And no, he's not. Miz punches Mysterio. Miz puts Mysterio up on the apron and then goes for a knee strike. But Mysterio dodges and hits Miz with the head scissors and forces Miz into this head first. Forces Miz head first into the ring stairs. So now both men are selling on the floor as we go to a commercial. Back from commercial, both men are in the ring, and the Miz has applied a rear headlock on Rey Mysterio, but Mysterio is firing up, and the crowd is clapping along to help him out. Come on, Rey, let's go. They sure as hell want to see Rey Mysterio win his first WWE title, and this crowd's ready for Rey to do it. They're letting him know, you got to win this, Rey. You got to win it for us. Mysterio escapes the headlock with a few punches, but Miz hits a kind of like a scorpion death drop leg move on Rey Mysterio. I made mention of this during the I think it was what was that match? I think it was the Omega and Okada match. Anyway, it was like Mysterio puts Miz in a scorpion death drop position, which is basically an inverted DDT. But instead of dropping Mysterio down to the mat, he drops him on his knee. So back of the head to the knee, followed by a backbreaker. So nice little combo there by Miz. And Miz goes for a pin. He gets a 2 count. Miz goes right back to the rear headlock. He wants to wear Mysterio down, which I think is a smart move here, considering how quick Rey Mysterio get. You take away his stamina, you take away Rey's strength. Not to mention, this is for the vacated WWE Championship. This crowd is 100% on Rey Mysterio's side, so he's going to take away all their energy. He's going to keep the crowd out of it because everyone thinks Miz is awful. Well, hey, look, it's fine with Miz, but he also wants you to think that Rey's not going to win the title. So good stuff here by Miz. Mysterio attempts to escape the headlock with a few elbows, but Miz is able to throw Mysterio into a corner chest first. Miz attempts an atomic drop, but Mysterio flips out of that, and they jockey for position with a few rear waist locks, ending with Rey Mysterio pushing Miz into the ring post shoulder first. So this is Rey's first chance to get back into the match, and the crowd lets him know, come on, you got to fire up. And because Mysterio has been playing defense for the most part, now this is his chance to go on the offensive, and he needs to he needs to find that third gear. This is for the title, Come on, Rey, let's go. All right, so Mysterio goes to the top rope and hits Miz with a nice-looking senton, and then runs the ropes, ducks a lariat from the Miz, and hits Miz with a springboard crossbody for a 2 count. Mysterio runs the ropes, but Miz gets in a boot to Rey's gut, again cuts him off. Miz runs the ropes and gets in a sunset flip, but Mysterio is able to roll through, but Mysterio misses a roundhouse kick, and Miz punches Mysterio right in the gut. And then Miz hits that little low elevation DDT to bring Mysterio wham for a 2 count. Oh, Miz may be in control, but he's obviously getting frustrated. He can't keep Rey down, and he's hitting him with a lot of impact maneuvers here. He just looks like a heel too. Facials, he's just snarling. He's so underrated as a heel in a wrestler, and even then he was so underrated. He's still underrated and underused. Good stuff here by Miz. Loving it. So Miz runs the ropes, dodges a kick from Mysterio, but nails Mysterio with a big boot to the face. Wham. Miz gets a 2 count. And the Miz cannot keep Rey down. Rey is showing his heart. And at the same time, is making Miz believe that he can't keep Rey down. Miz knows the title's in his grasp. All he needs is for Mysterio to stay down. All he needs is the 3 count. Miz is thinking, I made it at WrestleMania. I want my title back. That's what he's thinking. This crowd starts to buzz as they want Mysterio to fire up. And so the Miz walks up to Mysterio, but receives a few kicks from Mysterio. The Miz attempts a wheelbarrow suplex, but Mysterio reverses it into a victory roll for a 2 count. But Mysterio can't follow up. He's been getting beat up throughout this whole entire match by the Miz, so having to follow up is not an easy thing for Mysterio at this point. The Miz attempts a powerbomb, but Mysterio escapes. Then Mysterio charges Miz and hits a drop toe hold to Miz, putting Miz in line for a 619. Mysterio goes for the 619 and misses. Miz grounds Mysterio again with a kick to the gut. This Miz is just beating up Mysterio at this point. Throughout the whole match, actually. Miz nails Mysterio with a slingshot powerbomb. Wham! And he gets a 2 count for it. Looked really good. But Mysterio will not stay down. Rey is showing his heart. He is showing the heart. He's showing he has the heart of a champion. Will it pay off for Rey Mysterio? Miz, well, we'll find out. And we see Miz is just yelling at Mysterio to just give up. But Mysterio's not going to do that. So Miz, he's ready to end this match. He wants to end it. So he starts to stalk Mysterio, and it looks like is it time for the skull crushing finale? Yes, indeed. The Miz is calling for it. Miz is still stalking. Crowd's looking a little uneasy. Miz locks it in, but Mysterio escapes by running the ropes. But Miz locks in. Miz locks in the skull crushing finale, but Mysterio escapes by running to the ropes. But Miz locks in a full Nelson anyway. Mysterio hops up to the top turnbuckle, breaking the full Nelson, but finds himself in the Tree of Woe. He falls down and he has his foot hooked up on the top turnbuckle. Miz follows up with a knee or two to Mysterio's gut. More knees to Rey Mysterio's gut. Like I'm thinking, wow, the Miz is relentless. He is not letting Mysterio have any bit of offense. He is whipping Mysterio's ass. The Miz walks to the opposite corner and runs at Mysterio, but Mysterio is able to elevate himself up to dodge Miz's charge. Miz hits the turnbuckle's knee first. Mysterio with another chance to get back in this to get back in this match. He's got to get in some offense. Mysterio hits a head scissors to Miz, and Miz bumps to the ropes, and the 619 time, and wham! Miz is nailed with a 619. Mysterio runs over to the top rope. Splash to Miz, and at 11 minutes and 2 seconds, we get the 1, the 2, and the 3. Mysterio did it. Mysterio wins. He wins the WWE Championship. His 3rd world title overall. The 619 to the top rope splash, and the Miz and Miz stays down for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd is going nuts for Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is the new WWE Champion. Wow. That came out of nowhere because up until then, Mysterio was getting his ass whipped. Miz slipped on the banana peel in this one. And we go back to the shot of the WWE roster cheering for Mysterio. And what can I say? But Mysterio with a well-deserved win to claim the WWE title. Very nice. Good stuff. The Miz had Mysterio for most of the match, but he slipped on the banana peel, as they say. So, and Mysterio took advantage. That's what you're going to do. So, Miz, what can you do? I mean, you got to go lick your wounds, man. So, the Miz celebrates and acknowledges the crowd as we cut to black. Or do we? We do not cut to black because we get to review another match for this segment. It turns out that at some point during Raw, John Cena challenges Rey Mysterio for the WWE title in the main event of Raw, and Rey Mysterio, being the fighting champion that he is, accepts the match, and we get a main event for Raw involving the WWE champion Rey Mysterio defending against John Cena, and Rey Mysterio comes out first to his typical to the same entrance he had before, and his opponent is John Cena, and we get the typical stuff. And John Cena is an 8-time WWE champion, looking to be a 9-time WWE champion. And Rey Mysterio is looking to defend his championship that he won earlier that night. So John Cena is ready. Rey Mysterio is ready. The crowd is ready. Referee says, "Ring the bell." Here we go. So Mysterio attacks John Cena's leg with a few kicks. They eventually lock up, but Rey Mysterio goes right after Cena's leg again with a kick. Mysterio runs the ropes. Cena with a shoulder tackle, and he tries for a pin. He gets a 2 count. Cena applies an armbar. Mysterio responds with kicks to Cena's legs. Cena breaks the armbar, and then Cena picks up Mysterio by his wrists up to his shoulders. But before Cena can perform any kind of move, Mysterio hits a victory roll for a 2 count. Mysterio applies a side headlock to Cena. Cena throws Mysterio off the ropes, but Mysterio ducks through John Cena's legs and reapplies the side headlock. Cena flips Mysterio backwards to escape the headlock, but Mysterio, as fast as lightning, gets right back into the headlock. Cena hits a back suplex on Mysterio for a 2 count. Mysterio goes back to kicking Cena's leg, and then Mysterio applies another side headlock to Cena. Cena tries to escape, but Mysterio picks his feet up to the top turnbuckle and pushes off and hits John Cena with a bulldog from the top rope. Well, not from the top rope, but elevated bulldog, I guess. He gets a 2 count off of that. Cena pushes Mysterio into a corner, charges at Mysterio, but Mysterio dodges and Cena hits the buckles chest first, and both men are down. And John Cena sells to the floor. A "Let's Go Cena sucks" chant breaks out. Mysterio runs the ropes and hits a beautiful springboard senton over the top rope to Cena on the floor. Very nice by Mr. Mysterio. And as these guys are fighting on the floor, I get a good look at that anonymous GM computer, and I'm regretting seeing it. I was trying to repress those memories. On the floor, Mysterio attacks Cena's leg with more kicks. All right, so we got Mysterio whipping Cena to the stairs, but Cena reverses Mysterio. Mysterio hops up to the top of the stairs. Cena charges Mysterio. Mysterio leapfrogs Cena, but then Cena nails Mysterio with a freaking huge clothesline. Wham! Cena then puts Mysterio back in the ring, goes for a cover, and gets a 2 count. Cena locks in a rear waist lock on a prone Mysterio. Let's see here. Cena's still with the waist lock, and Mysterio's trying to get up. He's struggling because Cena is a lot bigger than him and a lot more powerful. And he's up to a knee. He's up to a knee now. And a couple of back elbows by Mysterio, followed by a DDT. Wham! To Cena, breaks that little waist lock. Mysterio goes for a cover and gets a 2 count. Both men are starting to do a good job of selling here. Mysterio obviously should be selling. He's already been through one match and he's in his second one, and he's taken a few high impact moves. And now Cena is selling a DDT as well as a couple elbows. So good stuff with the selling. I love it. Mysterio goes for a kick. Cena catches that kick. Mysterio attempts an enziguri, and then Cena blocks the enziguri and locks in an STF. But unfortunately for Cena, it's applied in the ropes, and Cena has to break it. Cena charges Mysterio, who is on the apron, and eats a shoulder to his gut. Mysterio guillotines Cena on the top rope, and Cena drops to the mat. Mysterio hits Cena with his beautiful reverse springboard 360 for a 2 count. Cena sells into the ropes, which is a bad idea. Mysterio runs the ropes for the 6-1, and nope. Cena catches Mysterio and picks Mysterio up and power slams the champ for a 2 count. That was a close 2 count right there. That was a nice little 2 count. I mean, but Cena can't follow up with anything at the moment because he's still recovering from the DDT and the 360 from Mysterio. Cena charges Mysterio in the corner, but Mysterio hits Cena with double boots. Cena runs the ropes and hits Mysterio with a flying shoulder tackle, but Mysterio blocks the second flying shoulder tackle by dropkicking Cena. Obviously, Ray knew the 5-knuckle shuffle was coming and just put his feet up. Excellent move. Ray goes for a pin, but gets a 2 count, but only gets a 2 count. Mysterio needs to defend his title here. He just won the damn thing, so he's thinking he's not letting the 5-knuckle shuffle get hit. He's not going to let Cena get any kind of momentum. So he decides to attempt a springboard moonsault, but unfortunately, Cena moves out of the way. Cena attempts a back suplex, but Mysterio flips out of it. Cena goes for a wheelbarrow suplex, but hits a tilt-a-whirl powerbomb instead on Mysterio, and up comes the hand. Cena runs the ropes. He runs the other ropes. And as half the crowd loves this and the other half hates it, Cena drops the oh-so-devastating 5-knuckle shuffle. And then Cena starts to measure Mysterio for the AA. Cena attempts the AA, but Mysterio elbows out of it. Mysterio runs the ropes, ducks a clothesline, and attempts a springboard crossbody, but Cena catches Mysterio out of the air, causing Mysterio to break the big man rule. Cena goes for a power slam, but Mysterio reverses it with a Hurricane Rana, and he gets a 2 count for his efforts. Both men are down on the mat. Who wants the WWE title? This is for the title. Who wants it? Who wants this title? Both men continue to sell. The crowd is getting hyped. They obviously want Rey Mysterio to win this match. Mysterio sells to a corner, and so Cena charges and eats a drop toe hold from Mysterio. Cena as a result, Cena bumps into the turnbuckles. Both men are still down. Both men are now down, but Mysterio's crawling to the apron. Mysterio climbs to the top rope and nails John Cena with a senton and gets a 2 count. But somehow Cena is able to respond with an STF, but Mysterio reverses that into an STF of his own. Beautiful sequence by Mysterio and Cena here. And the crowd, they're getting hyped up. They want the tap out. They want Mysterio to tap out John Cena so Rey Mysterio can win can regain his WWE title. And it looks like Cena's passing out. He's fading. He can't keep his arms up. Rey's got it locked in, but unfortunately for him, Cena's just a bit too strong. So Cena's up to a foot, and eventually Cena's going to get up, and he has Rey Mysterio in his arms. Cena puts Mysterio on his shoulders for the AA, but his knee just gives out. So right down to the mat crumbles John Cena. Cena will eventually sell to the ropes, and again, not a good move, as Rey Mysterio will hit the 619 wham to John Cena. And is this it? Can Rey Mysterio beat the Miz to win the title? Can he beat John Cena to keep it? Rey Mysterio to the top and splash coming, but Cena brings the knees up. And Mysterio bumps to the mat. But Cena can't follow up because he sacrifices his knee to avoid losing the match. So now both men are down, and this has to be the opening for John Cena to get back in the match. It has to be. Both men are slow getting to their feet. Cena's crawling into a corner, and Rey Mysterio is still selling in the center of the ring. Mysterio is up first, and he walks over to Cena and leaves a shoulder to Cena's gut, and then another one. Mysterio climbs to the top rope and attempts a Hurricane Rana, but Cena catches Mysterio and throws Mysterio halfway across the ring, and Cena collapses in the corner. He's still recovering from the 619. But Rey is still selling the knees to his gut on the splash. I mean, they're both selling in the middle of the ring. They're both selling in the ring. Good stuff here. Cena's making his way to the top rope. What could this be? I know what it is. It's probably that leg drop. And I know it's no man's land for John Cena, but he's real successful with this move. And sure enough, John Cena nails Rey Mysterio with a top rope leg drop. Wham! We get a 1. We get a 2, but no way. Mysterio ain't ready to leave yet. He kicks out in 2 4/5. Cena is sacrificing his leg because he wants to win the world title. And Rey Mysterio is showing a lot of heart because he wants to regain his world title. Cena measures Mysterio for the AA. Cena's at the same time. Cena's shaking his leg out, trying to get the blood flowing because he has to hit the AA to win this match. If he can't do it, if his leg won't hold up. Cena attempts the AA, but Mysterio wiggles out with some elbows. Mysterio hits Cena with a dropkick to Cena's back. Cena bumps to the ropes, and again, bad place to be because Mysterio is going to go for the 619, and Mysterio definitely wants to hit the 619 again. The kill shot to Cena, but no. Cena catches Mysterio and absolutely destroys Mysterio with a tremendous attitude adjustment. And at 12 minutes, 54 seconds, Jay motherfucking Cena gets the 1, the 2, and the 3. And Cena regains the WWE title that he lost to CM Punk. Mysterio, he can't get up. He couldn't get up, and he lost the WWE title merely an hour and a half or so after he won it. Oh, no. This crowd is definitely not happy with it. But what can you do? Cena's now a 9-time champ, and we see some mutual respect from both guys to each other as Cena and Mysterio hug it out and they shake hands in the middle of the ring. And as Mysterio leaves the ring to Cena, Cena continues to celebrate in the ring, and then we get this. that's exactly what that is. That's the cult of personality coming out to the stage. And as Cena's in the ring saying, is he back? Yes, he is. We see Punk walking out to the stage wearing his WWE title belt that he won from John Cena at Money in the Bank. And Punk continues to walk to the ring. Punk gets into the ring, and he's face-to-face with an incredulous John Cena. Huge reaction for Punk. He is back in the WWE. So Cena mouths to Punk, welcome back, and holds up his newly acquired WWE title in the air to a nice pop. Punk could care less. With a smirk, Punk pulls up his WWE title belt and raises it up in the air to an even bigger pop. So Cena says, oh well. Cena walks off, leaving CM Punk in the ring, and as we finally cut to black. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this aftermath in half here because I'm gonna go to another part of this because this is like a little long aftermath here. So both these matches were really good. All three men told their story in and out of the ring, especially Mysterio. He had his Rocky moment. He said on the camera, like, kids. He said to his kids and his wife he's coming home, but this time he's coming home with the gold, all that kind of stuff. He got champagne bath from the guys in the back. Even John Cena gave him a handshake for his win, even though he would challenge him later. Dick move, but hey, Cena's gonna Cena, right? Miz had his chance to regain what he thought was his, and he failed. He gave it his best shot, but he slipped on the banana peel. But he was able, but at the end, he was able to air his grievances a little bit with a vicious promo aimed at WWE as a whole, questioning Triple H's ability to lead the company, as well as not being terribly thrilled with Cena getting a title shot later that night. Good heel stuff by Miz. He's so good on the mic. John Cena had the least interesting story of all the stories told. That was until the end of the episode of Raw anyway. I mean, he overcame some leg issues to finally take down Mysterio, but then he had his face-to-face with Punk, and that's clearly the overarching story, that being Punk and Cena and what they're going to go through the next month or so running into SummerSlam. And based on crowd reaction, there is still a lot to be told between the two of these guys, but that's for another time. So, Miz and Reigns' match was good. To me, it was a little slow at points. There was a couple of rest holds and there was a commercial break, but they didn't deter from the action too much. This match was very deliberate. It was Miz being a deliberate, relentless heel. And as a result, it made Ray look like a warrior for fighting from underneath because Miz had a relentless attack. He didn't let up. I mean, don't forget, Miz wanted the title just as much as Mysterio did. So basically, you could say Miz and Ray had a cunning and viciousness of Miz versus a guts and speed of Mysterio match, I guess you could say. And Miz was in pure punch, kick, elbow, beat the crap out of Rey Mysterio mode, where Mysterio showed his heart and displayed his quickness. Both men came out of this match looking good as far as I was concerned. But it was Ray that won the match and the title. And he would carry that title into the main event against John Cena. And you could say that much of that match was the same as Miz and Mysterio. Just exchange the viciousness and cunning for pure power. That's what John Cena needed to win this match. The quickness was not enough to overcome Cena's power. Both men pulled out all the stops, though. They tried what they had to do what they had to do. Top rope maneuvers, countless reversals, high-impact strikes. But John Cena powered his way to a win when he caught the 619, dropped Rey Mysterio for the AA, and John Cena becomes a 9-time champ. But honestly, this night was about Rey Mysterio. Even though he doesn't have the belt, he proved that he can have a great match with just about anyone. Just in case there was just in case it was up for debate in anyone's mind. The only real negatives to me were the predictability for the first match. Anyway, for the Miz and Rey match, it was predictability. I remember watching this when it happened, and I never had a doubt that Rey was not going to win. I never had a doubt. I'm sorry, I never had a doubt that Rey would win. Rey was obviously going to go over in this match. Also, with the match being the first match of the night, it kind of made me think that there was going to be some shenanigans later in the night. So I had this weird feeling in my gut that something dumb was going to happen. So as the night went on, we would get a better look at that. So the second match came as a result of Cena challenging Ray, and Ray accepting the match was all fine and good. Ray's a fighting champion. But when Cena won, I was actually bummed out. It was just like, why would Rey Mysterio win the title early in the night just to lose it an hour later? It didn't really make much sense to me, and actually, like I said, I felt a little bummed out about it because this Rey Mysterio here, he could have had a run with the title for like a few months, but we don't get that. And then Punk comes out, and then it becomes clear that this was all a vehicle to get Punk and Cena to SummerSlam. Cena wins the belt. Punk comes back. They wrestle for a belt that Punk rightfully won, and then Cena wins, and they're going to wrestle to see who the undisputed champion is. But to me, it kind of rendered this tournament kind of like meaningless, and it cheapened Rey Mysterio's win. And that's just semantic stuff, really. It's not like it took away from the overall matches, themselves. It did a little bit. It definitely lowered the ratings of these matches to me. So I'm going to give the Ray and Miz match. I gave it a 7.5. Like I said, it was slow at some points, but to me, the match got cheapened when there was going to be another WWE title match right after it. I tried to stay within the match itself, and it wasn't very easy. But I did love the match. I liked Miz's heel work, and Ray fighting from underneath was a great story. But I felt 7.5 was a good score. And then we had Cena and Ray. That was a little bit better. It was more of a back and forth, more exciting, more sequences and moves and moments. And I gave that match an 8. Like I said, it might have been a little bit higher, maybe an 8.5. But like seeing as how this was a vehicle for CM Punk and Cena, this took away from the match a little bit. Like I said with Miz and Ray, I tried to stay within the confines of that match, but I just found it wasn't very easy, so I just didn't do it. All right, so I'm gonna have a little fun here, and since we're talking about title reigns and how short Rey Mysterio's was, I'm gonna go ahead and list the shortest 13 reigns in WWE title history. So let's have some fun with it. Okay, so number 13 is Bob Backlund. His reign was 3 days. He beat Bret Hart at the '94 Survivor Series, but got jobbed out or squashed, I should say, to Diesel 3 days later. Number 12 was Batista. He had the belt for 2 days, and he would beat Randy Orton at Backlash 2009. But he had to forfeit the title due to suffering a biceps injury. The Rock was 2 days. Now this is more of a technicality because generally WWE uses whatever happens on TV as their record of or as how they keep their records. But since this empty arena match took place 2 days after the Rumble as a pre-taped segment, The Rock's title reign after the Rumble only lasted 2 days technically. On TV, it lasted a week, but technically it was 2 days since they pre-taped that empty arena match 2 days after the Rumble. Didn't know that. Okay. Number 10, Hulk Hogan. Okay, so in 1991, Hogan was feuding with The Undertaker, and then at Survivor Series, the Dead Man won that match. But on Tuesday night in Texas, which was a couple days after that, Hogan, in pretty much an overbooked fuck finish of a match, where Flair got involved and Earn got brought into the match, and Hogan would win the match with the Earn by beating Taker, but Jack Tunney would strip him of the title a day later due to the interference and the shenanigans, and that led to that one of the best Royal Rumbles of all time in 1992, with Flair winning that Rumble. So we go next to number 9, and this is Bret Hart. He had a title reign of 1 day. Yeah, so the Royal Rumble was won by Steve Austin, and Shawn Michaels was the world champion. But Shawn Michaels decided to lose his smile and vacate the title. And as a result of Austin technically cheating, and Bret Hart throwing up enough of a stink, and forcing Gorilla Monsoon's hand, who was the commissioner at the time, Gorilla Monsoon made a Final Four for an in your house show, with the winner getting the being number 1 contender to the WWF title. But with Michaels losing his smile, it became a WWE Championship match, with which Bret Hart would win. And then the following night on Raw, Psycho Sid would win the title back from Bret Hart. So that's 24 hours. So go figure. That was a mess in that early month or two of 1997 before Taker won the belt and get to WrestleMania. It was just a mess. Kane, one day. He wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin at the 1998 King of the Ring in a first blood match in which he won the belt. And then the next night on Raw, Austin would challenge Kane for a rematch, and then Austin would win. So one day. Jesus Christ. Again, we get one day. Number 7 is Mankind. I'm noticing a lot of notable names on this list. SummerSlam of Survivor Series in 1999, and we had a returning Mankind come back into the match, and no, this is SummerSlam. I'm sorry, SummerSlam. I apologize. And so we had Mankind come back at SummerSlam, and he would win a triple threat match involving Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin to win the WWF title. And then he would drop it one day later to Triple H, and that would be Triple H's first ever WWF title. So one day for Mankind. And speaking of the game, number 6 is Triple H. Okay, so bear with me here. We had the title was vacated, or John Cena had a pectoral injury and he had to vacate the title. So at No Mercy 2007, later that week, Orton was presented with that vacated title. And he would lose it to Triple H. Triple H would win and then wrestle later that night against Umaga and beat Umaga, but then would face Orton after that match, with Orton invoking his rematch clause. So Triple H had a reign of 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. Rey Mysterio, 1 hour 46 minutes. We went through that in some detail earlier. Randy Orton, 24 minutes. Same No Mercy nonsense from Triple H's title reign, except Orton's was 24 minutes because he was presented with the belt and then lost a 24-minute match to Triple H. John Cena's number 3. You're noticing that this whole list is of all Hall of Famers, right? This is amazing. All right, so his length of reign was 3 minutes and 30 seconds. He had just gotten through wrestling an Elimination Chamber match in 2010. And then Vince McMahon booked him in a match right after it. And Batista pretty much came out and beat the crap out of him for 3 minutes, 30 seconds, and he won the championship. So Cena's reign, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Number 2, Yokozuna. Arguably one of the most infamous moments in wrestling history in my mind is WrestleMania 9, the main event. Bret Hart loses to Yokozuna. And Hulk Hogan decides to come out and make an appearance for some effing reason. And for another effing reason, Mr. Fuji just challenges Hulk Hogan to a title match right then and there. Yokozuna's in the ring. He can barely stand. He's pretty much teetering back and forth. And Hulk Hogan goes in there. And in 2 minutes, 30 seconds later, Yokozuna is no longer the champ. And number 1 is Andre the Giant. Length of reign was 45 seconds. And this was the match where he beat Hogan thanks to some Hebner twin magic. And he sold off, or he gave the title to Ted DiBiase 45 seconds after he pinned Hulk Hogan. So there you go. Some short title reigns to discuss and reminisce with. If you were old enough for the Andre one, it's kind of cool. If you're old enough for Yokozuna, very nice. Talk about it if you want to in the comments. And as always, I'll be back tomorrow with another one, with another random ass daily match review. Have a good one.